Okay, so we have just finished going over how to pull apart the prompt. So we're going to practice on pulling apart the prompt with our backpack writing prompt. So I assigned this, or your teacher assigned this to you to see how well you do when it comes to pulling apart the prompt when you're giving the task yourself. So let's walk through it together and see just how well you did. So the first step, and I put them at the bottom to help us out and help us remember, is to read your prompt. So I'm going to read everything, even though the first part is really the only part I'm going to look at. I am going to read all of it just so we can get in the habit of reading it all. Because there might be something hidden inside the rest of it that lets me know what also I might need to include. Okay, so it's good to have a backpack that you really like. Think about how you would like your backpack to look. Write a paragraph describing what you would want your backpack to look like and why would that make the backpack special for you. Use evidence from the passage to support your opinion. You may use information from your own experiences and knowledge about the topic in your response. Be sure to answer the prompt completely. Write at least one paragraph. Use correct spelling and grammar. Use correct capitalization and punctuation. Provide evidence from the passage to support your response. Write your paragraph on the lined pages of this test booklet. Now, this is not a test booklet. This is Class Kick. However, when you take your TCAP, you will have a test booklet, and that's what it's talking about, okay? Anything you write that is not on the lined pages will not be scored. Take a few minutes to think about the passage and the prompt so you can plan your response before you begin to write. You may read the passage and the writing prompt again to yourself. Do your best to write a clear and complete response. You must write your response on the next 2 pages in your test booklet. You may use as much space as you need. So, I read the entire prompt. I know what I have to do, but I don't want to think all of it at one time. I want to break it up into steps. So we're going to pull apart the prompt first. And for that, I'm only going to use this part of my prompt. Okay? The meat and potatoes part of my prompt. So I've read my prompt, so I'm going to go ahead down here to my little checklist, and I'm going to cross it off because I've already done that. Now, number 2, box a power verb. Remember, those are your power verbs, are your words. It's going to help you understand what you're having to do. For example, you might see the word describe, explain, or analyze. And here we see the word describe. So I am going to attempt, it's zoomed in really close so you can see. I'm going to attempt to make a box around the word describing. Literal box. It's going to be a lot easier with pencil and a paper, but because we have Class Kick and some of you do not have the capabilities or able to print paper off, I am going to go ahead and just use Class Kick today with you. So, number 1 rather, read the prompt. Check. Number 2, box the power verb. I just did that. So I'm going to scroll back down. I'm going to cross it off. Now, number 3, circle the type of writing. What type of writing does it want me to do? Well, here we're looking for opinion, or maybe a narrative, or maybe informative. But since we've been talking about opinion so far, and I've already told you we're going to be doing an opinion piece, I'm kind of going to be looking for that word opinion. And I see it, so I'm going to circle the word opinion. So right now I know I have to describe and I have to give my opinion. Okay, so I've done that 3rd step, so I'm going to cross it off. Now, number 4, underline the topic. Well, the topic is, what are we writing about? What are we writing about? So if I scroll up to the top, I don't really remember, so I want to read it again. Is that okay for you to do? Absolutely. So I'm going to read it one more time. It is good to have a backpack that you really like. Think about how you would like your backpack to look. Write a paragraph describing what you would want your backpack to look like and why would that make the backpack special. So right now I know that the topic that I'm going to write about is backpacks, right? I'm going to write about backpacks. So I'm going to underline that. But notice this lovely word and. Remember how step 5 I wrote, or I typed out rather, that circle the word and? That lets me know I'm going to have to answer 2 separate questions, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and cross out number 4, which is underline the topic. I just did that. But now let's hop back up so I can see that word and one more time. You can pay close attention to how it's used and why I circled it. So if I scroll back up, I circled the word and in the middle of my sentence that tells me to write a paragraph, right? So it tells me to write a paragraph, number 1, what you want your backpack to look like. And so that lets me know there's another part I got to write about too. Why would that make the backpack special for you? Okay. I know you might be thinking, oh my goodness, Miss Turner, that word and. I wish it wasn't even there. Because if it wasn't there, I wouldn't have to write about 2 things. I would only have to write about one thing. And blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you right now, okay? The and is a good thing to have because it tells you exactly what you're going to write. You don't have to guess. You don't have to do anything. Wants you to write about those 2 things, well, write about those 2 things. And when you get older, you'll understand even more why that and is so good to see in your writing prompt. So I want to scroll back down. I just circled that word and, cross it out. I'm going to zoom it out.